The Doug Shapiro Show, SiriusXM 168.
Well, this is nice. An old friend in studio. I've been watching her social media and her great family life. She has young children. I'm always a fearful dad. And I thought I could use some advice. So we invited Angie Campanelli into the studio. How are you?
Thank you for having me. Always good to see you.
You've done TV stuff, and to remind people everything you've done in your day and still doing currently.
Well, I started off as a producer. I was at Entertainment Tonight Canada for 5.5 years, fashion reporting and producing. That's where I met Rick, my now hubby, and been producing at the Marilyn Dennis Show, on camera pretty much at every network. Right now, I'm primarily doing lifestyle, family blogging, and this sort of stuff.
It's like sort of a natural progression, being a mother of two, and you have a stepchild as well. Oh yeah, that's right. You're married to Rick Campanelli.
I am.
Rick's what's it like, Ange, being married to the nicest, like literally the reputation and in person when you get to meet him, whether you're a fan or just a friend or family, I imagine. That like, is it hard to be married to the nicest guy in the world?
No, it makes my life pretty easy, obviously. But everywhere we go, people recognize him. I was just talking about this with somebody, and it blows my mind that he'll have a hat on like yourself and glasses, and I'm sure you're in the same predicament. You walking on the street and people are like, Rick the Temp? Is that Rick the Temp? I'm like, I don't even recognize you, and I live with you, and people will point him out, and he stops and talks to everybody and wants to know everyone's story. And at the beginning, it was a little bit of an adjustment. We go out for dinner, and the whole time people are coming up, he's talking to them, and I was just like, these are long, boring, meals. But then I kind of got into his whole vibe of just learning about everybody you meet and being as passionate about the strangers that are out there as you are about people you actually know. And now we're both like this. Well,
and that's amazing. And it speaks to the longevity of both your careers. And I don't even know if I've had the opportunity to ever tell Rick this, but I probably early in my career, learned a lot of that through him. I saw the way he engaged his fans and took the time for them and asked them questions. What do you do? What's your name? These things. And I remember like a few people in my day when I first started that just always had that nice, natural approach. And to be honest, made sure that I would try and emulate that because it is important. And it's this career is exactly that, a career, a livelihood. So you want to be as nice to people and as open and honest to people all the way up because they are the ones that support you and help really get you the next gig by being there for you.
And you never know who's going to end up where. Like, this industry is tiny. We've crossed paths many times. I crossed paths with Rick when I was 19, then again in my 20s. And you just constantly weave, especially if you're interested in media in any capacity. And I'm behind the scenes, he's in front of the scenes, and our paths still were constantly intertwining. And I find the same thing with interns and, like you were saying, the fans. If you don't take the time to respect these people and get to know them, you never know where they're going to end up and when and what you might need them for. I've worked with people who were colleagues and then my boss.
Yeah. It's so true. I always say that's why I'm nice to Blau. He's going to be my boss one day. He's so smart, this kid. But and the other thing too, let's be honest, we're Canadian entertainers, so we never really get rich enough to be.
That's true too. That is true too.
No, it's no one. If Rick made like $100 million, he would be just as nice and just as candid with people, which would probably even just not even surprise people because he's got that aura. He's a good guy. Please say hi. You have 2 children. I honestly, I got this little kid, Sawyer, Ange. I see you post stuff with Huggies and you're doing the pull-ups and like I'm getting through that stage now where it's starting to happen and as a parent, do we ever know what to do here?
No. That's the whole point of parenting.
Okay,
I was just chatting about this with somebody. Like we none of us know, and the only way that we learn is through our community. Your amazing show, all of these resources that parents can go to. I mean, just tell everybody, Todd, Sawyer is already doing the number 2. Just own it.
Well, he does point to a little, like we got this little potty thing we move. I don't even know. It's so weird because you got to clean it out yourself. And it's so strange to me, the whole concept.
It's like a human cat litter box.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Dig it out.
And yeah, he points to pee-pee and poo-poo and tells us when he has to go upstairs. But it's something we just try and talk to him about almost in adult tones, not even in kid tones. I'll be like, hey, dude, if you got to go pee-pee, and he sees when daddy pee-pees, like, and even that is strange, I think, for a new parent, like, where they start to know what you're doing and they kind of follow in and they want to see how it's done and things. And it's almost awkward to talk about this stuff, but it's life, right, for every parent. But like, how does it work so we're about to, we travel a lot. How would you, and you work with Huggies, I know, and the pull-ups and stuff, like, do we stop on what are there tips for that for parents?
Well, summer is one of the most popular times of the year that parents want to potty train, because you can say, let's just take everything off and let them run wild and free, embrace the inner Tarzan, and hopefully they'll get potty trained. But it's also the time of year that people are going to cottages and away on vacation. And when we first started, Jack was 2, and we kept stopping and starting. Every time we had to go on a trip, I wanted to be on vacation. I didn't want to have to potty train. And potty training is a job.
It is a job.
It's a job. You have to be on. You have to watch the schedule. As soon as you relax, they relax, and accidents happen. So you have to remain consistent and show them that just because we're going on a vacation doesn't mean mommy and daddy are giving up on this. So you got to keep at it. Like, for you guys, if you're in the car, I definitely recommend a travel potty for the car. Have your wipes and your plastic bags ready. And if Sawyer gives you the signal that he has to go or says something that indicates it, pull over and do a mini bathroom break. You can do like a pull-up and put them in the car.
Sure.
But then your messaging is inconsistent. Like, I've had parents message me being like, oh my gosh, it was the middle of winter and we didn't want to pull over. So we just said, go in your seat. Like, yo, go, don't worry, you have protection, go. But then what? Then you've given them the excuse now that when they're busy playing maybe, or they don't want to go, that they don't have to. So you have to remain consistent, and you have to bring what you're going to need to bring.
Tell me about actually the pull-ups, because Sawyer just started to use those, because one thing we started to notice as he started to want to understand how to pee-pee and poo-poo and stuff, he would rip off, like, he also started to learn at that same point to rip off the Huggies, the old, like the original, I don't even know what they're called, to be honest.
Just like the diapers. They just undo them, So is that also why you start to get the pull-up? Is that part of it? Like, you get the pull-up, so does that help lead into the potty training? I don't like. Well, there's two things with what he's doing. If you do want to figure out whether or not your kid is ready for potty training, pullups.com has a signs of readiness quiz. Sawyer is like checking all of the boxes. Like, he's talking about it, he's showing interest, he's tugging at a diaper. If he's starting to wake up dry from naps and sleeping, he's holding his movements. Ooh, I don't know if he's doing that. Does he like to go behind chairs and hide around the house and things to go to the bathroom? Like, once they start showing that they're no longer just going while they're playing and stuff, they're getting ready for the bathroom. So he does do like the odd, he'll sort of walk over somewhere and kind of like the other day peeing on the stairs. I'm like, dude, like, you gotta be in, like, you know, let us know. That's the hardest part, is getting them to actually let you know. But back to your question about the actual training pant. A training pant like pull-ups does pull on and off, but it also has the easy open side. So if you are somewhere like a plane, which the situation we've been in, where they've soiled themselves, you don't have to slide it up and down their body. I don't even think I knew that, to be honest. Just open the sides. In the case of an accident, and clean up so much easier than having to like drop the pants, pull them on and off. Like, for traveling, even if your child is potty trained, I recommend like 5 and under, always having them on hand. What do you do if you're on a plane and there's turbulence and they're saying, no, nobody can get up? Try explaining that to a toddler. We can't use the bathroom. We can't use the bathroom. Never thought about that. We were in that situation and they have to go. If you don't have them in a pull-up, you're done. Like, they're going to have to. Or someone like me who's just too nervous also. Like, on a plane when that were to happen. I was like, oh, wait a second. It is so hard. I wish I had some pull-ups right now. All this stuff, and there's a lot of listeners out there, which is, don't get me wrong, it's a comedy program and everything, but life is comedy. Like, when your kids growing up and learning how to become potty trained, there's so many humorous events that come with that too. And I think it's good. I don't know if this is what I want to ask you, really being, sort of an expert on this kind of stuff. Like, is it okay to kind of have fun with it though and laugh at it? Don't get upset over these things, right? Like, just kind of enjoy the frivolousness of it and the learning part of it. And like, it can be comical, right? Well, I think it has to be. I mean, that's why they're calling it now the potty partnership. You have to partner with your child and see it as a team, like you're in the Amazing Race, and this is just one thing that you guys have to do as a team. It's kind of your first partnership with your child, right? Like, when before this are you two doing something together that requires both of your consistency, your dedication, your focus? Bless you.
You okay, Below? Yeah, okay. Are you nervous? Okay.
Sweating.
He gets nervous around very beautiful ladies.
Oh, well,
okay,
thank you.
Okay.
No, it's the potty talk. It's the potty talk.
It's the potty. Yeah.
So yeah, in that case, you definitely have to use humor. And I can be a funny person, but not when someone's crapping on my floor and peeing on the rugs and all this stuff. Like, as a mom, the first couple of times, see, I've started and stopped so many times, it's embarrassing, but it's a reality. I didn't see humor in it. It felt like defiance, and I was getting so aggravated that he was still doing it. And kudos to you for being able to laugh at it so much, but I had to embrace that the 10th time around that we started again.
That's good. And I think that's the only advice I say to parents. Be patient. You see them, they're wearing the Huggies pull up and they're running around, and then maybe they pull it off, or you take it off and you trust him for a few minutes, or her, before. There were accidents on certain furniture that I was like, oh, what else can we do? Like, what else did we expect when we brought this child into the world? That they're just going to be perfect? And traveling is good to know about just the stopping and stuff, the advice there.
Especially camping. We're getting tons of questions because it's summer about camping with your kids and potty training. What do? You got to create a little bathroom on your campsite. You got to bring the training pants, bring everything, and show. It's like a dog. This is where you go to the bathroom. Like, you cannot stop the potty training just because it's inconvenient to you.
It can be a long process, which is okay. Parents need to know that, right? That there's one child isn't more gifted because he just figured it out before. That these things can take time.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like a parenting competition. Like, I find so many parents are like, well, it took you that long? In a week? We just focus on it. Or I've had some say, in a weekend we did it. I think maybe the main portion of it you might have done in a weekend, but it is a process. Like, the whole signs of readiness that you're talking about, that's the beginning. And then when you first put them into the training pant, that's kind of the middle. And until your child is trained during the day and really working at it at night, which are two different things, you don't want to potty train day and night at the same time. It's a long process. The average in Canada is 8 to 10 months that it takes, and I'm almost on a full year.
With Jack.
Yep.
Oh, great.
And it can start as early as 18 months. Again, if you go to the signs of readiness quiz,
I think that was sort of Sawyer just started to understand PP and things, and but we're just taking our time with it. I think that's such a great thing. Things for parents. It's not a competition.
No.
Okay, that's going to be something that you're going to show your child, which is not an appropriate thing. There's certain things that are competition, sport, and obviously, there's a spelling bee one day. That we understand there's those things. It's not to go and it's not a spelling pea. Okay, I had to put that out there.
Oh,
I'm sorry I did that. Angie Campanelli, where can people follow you? I love the advice you give, because I really think it's as a personality, as someone so cool with Rick and stuff. I think parents need to see this kind of approach. I really like it.
Well, we're really trying to be real. We actually just minutes before I came here, we launched a YouTube channel, and it's all about the raw and the real. People expect parents to, the competitiveness and all of this stuff and the pressure. And Rick and I are just like any other family. My potty training process is one to be dissected and definitely not emulated, but I've learned from it and I'm sharing that. And we have a blog, the Family Travel Guide, which talks all about traveling with your kids and tips and advice. And it's all about, I just think with parenting, you have to share. We're in this community. You have to laugh. Everyone's so mean. You always hear about these people kind of attacking each other.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, you can't be like that. And we want to use our crappy situations and our stories and the real life of parenting and put it out there and be like, this is what it is. This is how we learn from it. And this is how we hope it'll help you.
No, I love it.
It's not really, we're not pushing advice on you. It's just, this is what worked for us. Try it.
Where can people find you?
familytravelguide.ca, or you can check out Angie Campanelli on YouTube for our live raw videos.
At Pull-Ups
Big Kid.
At Pull-Ups Big Kid.
But pullups.com is where everybody can go to. If you are starting this potty training process and you want a good laugh and you want to feel like you're part of the community, they have the resources, games, signs of readiness, giveaways. It's full of everything.
Pullups.com. Good to know.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And they come in Cars 3 designs. That's awesome. Okay.
I know.
So, yeah.
I want to wear them, right? I'm like,
So if I'm on a plane, I'll need to wear them. Angie, it's so nice. I'd love to do this again in a few months, just to keep getting the updates. It's cool because Jack's a little bit older than Sawyer, and like you kind of like can sort of learn as parents go through what they're going through and stuff. So that's always a neat thing to have. And I love your realness and genuine side. So of raising children, parents, we can all learn from Angie Campanelli. Say hi to Rick for us.
The Todd Shapiro Show.